5 bold predictions. You wrote this. All right, let's go through them, and then we'll talk about them when we go through all 5 of them. So number 5, you had Cade York drills a 60-yard field goal. I see that in the future. Not sure if it's going to be this week, but I think Cade York's going to have multiple 60-yarders before the year's done. Denzel Ward bounces back with 2 picks is number 4. Number 3, Nick Chubb breaks 150 yards. That would not surprise me as well. Marcus Mariota held to under 200 yards passing. And number 1, bold prediction, Amari Cooper makes it 3 in a row with at least 100 yards and a touchdown. Well, let's start with that one. I can certainly see that the chemistry between Brissett and Cooper has been outstanding.
Yeah, I've always been a big Amari Cooper fan, so I know I call them bold predictions, and some of them I do get bold on, but I don't know how bold I really went with the Nick Chubb or the Amari Cooper one, because Cooper is just one of those guys that he should be able to get 100 yards every single game if you keep targeting him. The only time I think that he won't get 100 yards is if he draws so much attention that everybody else is just left wide open. But I think Atlanta's been struggling a bit with the passing game. Brissett and Cooper are definitely on the same page now after a rough week 1. And I think he's going to keep on putting up 100 yards on the regular.
Yeah, and as far as Mariota goes, Mariota's legs concern me more than his passing ability. He is a guy that he gives you opportunities to get the ball if you're a defense.
He does, and I think he's had 6 turnovers so far in the first 3 games, so he does turn the ball over, but it's exactly what you said. The legs are the problem. I think I had kind of a similar score to a couple of the callers who were saying it was going to be, a close game. You had the one caller who said the Atlanta's going to score a touchdown near the end, and I think Atlanta can do that, make it look a little bit closer than it is, just because when Mariota gets in danger, when he's scrambling around out there, he can do something. And I can see him hurting the Browns a little bit with his legs, but I think they're going to be able to limit his arm enough to where they still get the win.
And the other one is Denzel Ward. Hasn't graded out well, Pro Football Focus. Again, I think they're asking him to do some things that aren't necessarily his strengths, and he's doing them to try to make the defense work. But I would expect before too much longer, Denzel Ward starts to look like the Denzel Ward we're used to.
Yeah, and the good thing is in their game against Pittsburgh, they kind of had him back to doing some of the man coverage. The only problem is he was against Deontay Johnson, who's another really elite route runner. So Johnson had a good game, 8 catches, I think it was 84 yards. So and it could have been even worse if Trubisky was a little bit more accurate. I don't think that's a knock on Ward. It's just, like I said, he was going up against an elite route runner. This week he's going against somebody who's really good, and Drake London, but London's a rookie. So I think that in the end, Ward's going to get the better of him and end up having a much better game and kind of get some of that criticism to slow down.
All right, when you look at this, what do you think a couple of the keys are? What do you think the score ends up being?
I had the final score at 27-21. I think the key thing is going to be for the Browns, that your defense might be limited. But sometimes I think that the best way to help your defense is with a guy like Nick Chubb, who can run the ball, keep the ball on your side, keep the opposing offense watching the game, and just kind of limit the opportunities that they have. So that's why I don't think that the Falcons are going to put up a whole lot of points, and I think the Browns are going to try to do a lot more ball control this game just to help their defense out, keep them fresh, and keep them from getting exposed.
And to your point, the Falcons defense has struggled. They're giving up, I think it's an average of 27 a game, which is bottom 5 or 6 in the league.
Yep. Yeah, and to their credit, I think they've been a little bit better than we expected them to be. I know they're only 1-2, but they've been close in the games. I don't think anybody expected a whole lot out of this team. There's not a lot of star power out there. They're really in a rebuilding mode. I think that they probably have a better chance at the number 1 seed than they do contending in their division at all.
Yeah, the concern you have, though, Cordell Patterson has been really good. He will be the best running back, and they will try to attack the Browns more so than even the Steelers did running the football.
Yeah, and it's funny how Patterson's been in the league for so long, and you saw New England one time, they used him a little bit as a running back, and then everyone just kept putting him back out a wide receiver where he never had that much success as a receiver. He was always good as a return man, and he would be good running the ball out of the backfield. And the Falcons just finally were the team that were smart enough to say, hey, why don't we just keep giving it to him in the backfield? And the results have been great for them. He's definitely been their best player. He's somebody that the Browns do have to watch out for because once he gets rolling, he can be hard to stop.